And one of the other ones that is so interesting to us as Mitek, we obviously have this legacy on the deposit side of the house, but I know one of our key banks saw fraud coming in from treasury checks. And instead of doing what we think of in the old school world, having been around it for a while, is washing checks, that's when you're literally like taking the ink off it and going old school. You get one check when you're done with that because you get to rewrite the information on it and you've got one. But now they take it, they digitize it, and they do what's called cooking. And at that point, right, like you can just make that template over and over again. Yeah,
exactly.
And it's just it's much bigger attack vectors too. Like it's a serious problem for our customers.
It is. Many of our customers are still encountering the physical threat of someone walking into a branch and presenting an ID that's clearly fake, or actually having to train someone who is standing in a branch to be able to identify a fake ID is still a problem. And so if you say that not only are we talking about new forms of fraud, the fraud will actually go to the path that least resistance. Exactly. So as soon as you tackle one, deepfakes via injection, then all of a sudden they're starting to print fake IDs and just walking in and cashing checks in the bank.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's this never-ending cycle of having to not just tackle the most recent, but tackle everything at the same time. And it's becoming overbearing for many of our customers.
Well, and it's the other reason that it's such a problem is that, to your point of fraud moving to the point of least resistance, even if we fix it at one of our customers, it will move to another customer. And it's why you have to have this holistic approach across an industry like the banking industry or like the telecommunications industry, because without it, there's always going to be a hole somewhere. And that's the part where we just have to do better about education to the marketplace, a layered approach, like really making sure that the technology on the defensive end is keeping up with the offensive end as well.
And having it as widespread as possible across as many customers as possible, so that at the end of the day, you have as much of a defense, a moat around as many of those customers that prevents the fraudsters from actually penetrating too many of those places at a given point in time. And we've seen that. We've seen it migrate. It'll start with one bank, it'll go to another bank, it spans no more than 2 weeks, recycle, rinse, repeat, and start all over again.